In this video, I want to talk about Twitter and how you can use it for marketing purposes. First of all, a bit of background about Twitter. Twitter is both an online social media site and a smartphone app. And Twitter users send short messages called tweets, and these are limited to 140 characters. Anyone can read tweets, but only registered users can post them. And people who are following a particular Twitter user get notified every time that person posts a tweet. They can then forward it on to their followers, and this is known as a retweet. Other users can also be quoted in a Twitter tweet by using the @ symbol, the A in a circle there. And topics on Twitter can be grouped together using hashtags, which is the number sign that you often find on a telephone keyboard. And when a topic is popular and being retweeted a lot, it's said to be trending. And Twitter is great for business to business, business to consumer, and consumer to consumer communications. And both individuals and corporations can have Twitter accounts, and it's a great way to stay in touch with customers and clients. And Twitter's reach spans the globe. As you can see, it's available in most countries throughout the world. There are some that you can't penetrate with Twitter. China doesn't like Twitter very much, and also some countries in sub-Saharan Africa where the internet and mobile phone networks aren't very well established. You can't get Twitter there. But most other countries, most of the other major countries in the world, major economies in Europe, North and South America, Australia, and so on, can access Twitter. So you have quite a wide reach. And Twitter is sometimes called the pulse of the planet because people can tweet their reactions to events very quickly. And you can also get instant feedback this way. And if you think about it, when you've only got 140 characters, then you're forced to be very concise in your messaging. So you have to get what you want to say down to 140 characters. So you have to be very specific and to the point. So there can't be any waffle or anything in a Twitter tweet. But also, a Twitter tweet being so short is very easy and very quick to read. So people are going to read your tweet in its entirety because it's not very long. Whereas with, say, a blog post, then it's going to take a while to write and it's going to take a long time to read. And sometimes people get bored and click away. But with a tweet, obviously that's not going to happen. And Twitter is popular with business leaders, it's popular with celebrities, and it's popular with politicians because, of course, you can communicate directly with your customers, directly with your fans, directly with the voters. It doesn't have to go through any middlemen or any other stages. It's just straight to the recipient on Twitter, and that is very, very powerful. And here we can see some famous people's Twitter accounts. We've got Bill Gates, Lindsay Lohan, and President Barack Obama. Now, if you're going to use Twitter for marketing purposes, it works best when you don't try to be too salesy. If you try to send Twitter tweets that are, buy my product and the URL, then you'll find that people will turn away from it quite quickly. What you need to do is to use it in conjunction with other social media. So use it in conjunction with things like Facebook, with YouTube videos, with postings that you have on your blog. It's a good way of drawing people's attention to posts that you have on your blog as well. And basically, when you're using it for marketing, use it to maintain a rapport with your customers and your potential customers, and frankly, you can't go wrong. And you can sign up for Twitter here at twitter.com. Just enter your name, email address, and password in the box here and click the button here that says sign up for Twitter, and then follow the on-screen instructions is actually very simple. In this video, I want to talk a bit about Instagram and how you can use it for marketing purposes. Before I do that, let me give you some background to Instagram. Instagram is a photo sharing smartphone app, and it enables you to share photos on social media sites such as Facebook, Tumblr, Flickr, and Twitter. And it's particularly popular with Twitter users because you can include the URL to your photograph in a Twitter tweet. And it also uses hashtags in a similar way to Twitter. Now, let me give you some background here. Instagram launched in October 2010, and it was acquired by Facebook in 2012 for $1 billion. Over 300 million users access the site every month, and that was by December 2014, the last time that they published the stats. And it's estimated that over 58 photographs are uploaded and one new user signs up every second. So you can see that it is a rapidly growing site and one that you can use to reach a massive audience. And you can add tags to your photos and images. Like I was saying earlier, you can use the hashtag symbol, and it works in a similar way to hashtags on Twitter. So, for example, if you were to take this photo and upload it to Instagram, you could have the hashtag hiking trail, hashtag Mount Tamalpais, and hashtag tired. You can also tag people using the @ symbol, again, just like on Twitter. And you could also tag users in the picture themselves, like on Facebook. Instagram also has the ability to message photos with Instagram Direct. So you can send someone a private message as a photo. And it's also possible for users to follow accounts just like you do on Twitter. Now, Instagram is a fantastic way to promote products and services. You can use it to increase your brand's visibility. And of course, you can position yourself as a hip and artistic organization. Another thing that you can do using Instagram is location tagging. You can take a photo and then you can log the location where that photograph was taken, so that people can find it and they can go to the exact same spot. Now, of course, this is great for bricks and mortar businesses. So, for example, you could take a photo of a store if you run a retail store, and you can then location tag it so that people can find where that store is using their smartphones. It's good for off-site services. So let's say, for example, you have a company that lays driveways. What you can do is, after the driveway is all laid down and finished, you can take a photo of it, upload it to Instagram with a location tag, and you can get people to come by and take a look at the quality of your work and hopefully buy a driveway from you. And of course, if you exhibit at a trade show or an exhibition or an event, then you can geotag a picture of your stand, and you can get people to find you at a trade show very easily that way. You can also use local hashtags on Instagram, and this can be very powerful. And what you should do is search for local hashtags regularly, and be sure to add your photos to that particular hashtag. And this works well for tourist attractions as well as places like restaurants and retail stores and that sort of thing. So if you have a local audience, if you cater to a local fan base, or you have a local customer base, then making sure that you tie yourself into some of these local hashtags can be very good for you, because it can get people who are looking in a particular area to find your business. It's also good for real-world networking. You know, if you have a retail store and people come in, let's say you run a hair salon or something like that, you could ask customers to follow you. You could take a photo of yourself a selfie with a customer and then tag them in it. Like I was saying earlier, if you run a hair salon, you take a photo of someone with their new haircut and tag them in it. And then, of course, this gives customers a great reason to follow you too, because there's a sort of degree of reciprocity in all this. If you tag someone in your photo, then quite often they'll tag you in theirs, and that introduces you to their fan base. And you can sign up online at Instagram.com, or what you can do is you can download the app from the Apple App Store, or you can get it on Google Play. In this video, I'm going to talk you through how you can get the most from hashtags. Now, hashtags are used on most social media sites, but chiefly on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And they're used to group together posts, pictures, and tweets by subject. And they're a sort of metadata tag. And they're particularly useful for coordinating activity on Twitter and Instagram. Okay, a few simple rules for writing hashtags. First of all, in a hashtag, the hash symbol directly precedes the word or phrase. Don't put a space after the hashtag symbol, otherwise it won't work properly. Secondly, a hashtag needs to be written as a single word without spaces. Thirdly, while you can use a number in a hashtag, typically punctuation and special characters won't work, so just alphanumeric characters only. And finally, hashtags can be placed anywhere in a post. They can be at the beginning, the middle, or the end of a tweet or an update. Now, when deciding on a hashtag, you want to make sure that, first of all, it's relevant to the subject that you're going to be tagging. And secondly, you want to make sure that it's going to be memorable. It's going to be something that sticks in people's minds so that they remember to look for it. What you should do is check to see if a hashtag is already in use for a particular topic before you coin your own. And if there is already a hashtag, then you should use it, because it'll make your contribution easier to find and follow. And quite often, particularly on Twitter, you'll find that once a subject comes up, once it starts being noticed, there'll be all sorts of different hashtags related to that particular topic. But after a while, one of those hashtags will become the dominant one. That's the one that people start looking for. That's the one that starts trending. And so that's the one that you want to hashtag your contribution with, because, as I said, it's going to make it easier for people to find and follow. Now, on Twitter, individuals can see a 100% increase in engagement by using hashtags. Brands can see a 50% increase. And tweets with one or more hashtags are 55% more likely to be retweeted. And this is according to Twitter's own research. But, and there always is a downside, tweets with more than 2 hashtags show a drop in engagement by an average of 17%. And advertising tweets without a hashtag, an at or mention, generate 23% more clicks. So if you are going to be having an advertising tweet, it's best not to have a hashtag or a mention, because that does actually, perversely in some ways, make it more clickable. Twitter actually has a very good section on their blog which explains how to choose a hashtag. It's been up there for a couple of years now, but it is still relevant. And if you want to read it, you go to blog.twitter.com/2013/how-to-choose-a-hashtag. On Instagram, Highest engagements come from posts with more than 11 hashtags. So when it comes to tagging your photos on Instagram, the more the merrier. Think of every hashtag that you can think of that describes your picture and put it on there. Look for hashtags that are starting to trend that are of a similar subject to your photo, and you can't go wrong. So in a complete contrast to Twitter, really, whereas with Twitter, less is more. On Instagram, more is more when it comes to hashtags. Now, the most liked Instagram hashtags are these ones: follow for follow, like for like, follow for with the number follow, L for L, F for F, TFLers, follow back, tags for like, follow me, and follow. The least liked Instagram hashtags were repost, NYE, drunk, love her, truth, Super Bowl, I love him, I love you, I love them, and best friends. So these are the sort of hashtags that you want to avoid if you're going to hashtag something on Instagram. On Facebook, hashtags can do more harm than good. Posts with only a few hashtags outperform those with lots of hashtags. So if you do want to use hashtags on Facebook, don't use more than 2. There are a couple of services which you can use to help keep track of hashtags and to analyze them and so on. They're both paid for services, but they are certainly worth the money. The first one is Keyhole, which you can find here at keyhole.co. And the other one here is hashtags.org. As it says here, it's hashtag analytics for your brand, business, product, service, event, or blogs. And it gives you a lot of information about each service here on the site.